Unlawfully gaining undetected access to a number of schools in Jamaica is literally as easy as ABC 1, 2, 3. A Safe Schools probe conducted by Live at 7 has revealed that some schools still don't have perimeter fencing. Others that have perimeter fencing are porous at best, while some schools have erected walls that cannot keep predators out or the students in. This is the McGrath High School in St. Catherine. You may recall that in early December 2013, 3 girls were sexually assaulted by a lone gunman who gained access to the school through this unfenced area of the property. Live at 7 understands that a 4th female student was made to watch the sordid ordeal. All 3 girls have since been transferred from the school. After the assault, there was collective outrage. Even a security audit was ordered. Here's what the Education Minister and the Member of Parliament for Northwest St. Catherine had to say when they visited the McGrath High School.
We cannot tolerate a situation where our children have to hurry away from school because school might not be safe when it gets dark or when classes are over. And the school personnel must gather together and must so organize themselves that somebody is watchful.
Securing a campus like this, whether we shouldn't introduce the use of technology and less human involvement, because I'm not convinced, I don't want to be unnecessarily critical, but I'm not convinced that the money we're spending on security is well spent.
However, our investigative coverage unit returned to the scene of the crime and found that after the pomp and pageantry of the parading politicians, senior public officials, and high-ranking police personnel who visited the school in the immediate aftermath of the heinous sexual crimes, the school is still without a perimeter fence. 15 months after the girls were viciously assaulted, members of our investigative coverage unit were able to enter the school grounds undetected from another section of the school's property. Breaking into the school was a cakewalk. We were on the compound for over an hour filming before anyone approached us. It was after we revealed our identity that we were approached by this security guard. Our news crew waited around for the principal, Claudine Panton, who granted us an interview. She admitted that the school was badly in need of a perimeter fence and confessed that it was very disturbing how we were able to gain undetected access to the school and its students.
Well, as you can see, the property is really a large property. We're sitting on 17 plus acres of land, and the entire rear section of the property is without a perimeter fence. It is indeed concerning, and this is a concern I've had since I've been here 2 years plus, that the entire rear section is open to anybody and everybody. And you have proven it today by coming on the property unannounced, walking through the rear of the that section that is actually open. So if you got access, it means that anybody else can have access to the compound, and that is indeed of a great concern to us. Nonetheless, I'm happy that things have started with the ministry, however. So you will not get the chance to walk back on my property unannounced or uninvited.
However, the principal told Live at 7 that the fence would soon be erected.
I am indeed very happy today to speak to you about that, because just yesterday I had representatives from the Ministry of Education visiting from the Region 6 office. They were here measuring the section that is in need of the perimeter fence.
While confident about the timeline provided by the Education Ministry, she couldn't say when construction would commence.
I'm not sure when it will begin, but I have no doubt that we will have that fence in place for September. As I said, I'm really happy to see the progress. Although it has taken a year to happen, I'm still thankful that the process has started.
Judging by the looks of fear that crept upon their faces after they found out how we gained entry to their school, it was clear that some of the students became fearful. At least one student was brave enough to tell our news crew she didn't feel safe at school because of the openness of the campus. We put that to the principal.
The students really don't complain, because what we have actually done is to make there's some sections that we have made out of bounds for students, and the only time they actually can be around the play field or on the farm is if they're being supervised by a member of staff. We have also ensured that parents are aware. We have sent home letters to parents, especially after that unfortunate incident that we had a year ago, stating that certain areas are out of bounds. We have also placed the out of bounds signs. And as you can see, we have 2 security personnel here. There's one that is stationed at the gate and one that will do patrol of the grounds.
We asked Principal Panton to put the shoe on the other foot and tell us how she would respond as a parent if she knew that total strangers could easily access her child's school campus without being detected. Here's what she told us.
Certainly would not be pleased. Certainly would not be pleased, because when a child is sent to school, any parent is expecting that that child is going to come back home safe. So I would not be happy about that, and that is something that has led me to say to the minister, listen, we are in need of help over here at McGrath High, and I'm happy that they have seen the need to come over and help us now.
Our next stop was the Jose Marti High School. Here we found a hole in the perimeter fence that allowed for easy entrance and exit without having to use the main entrance. A visit to the John Mills Primary and Junior High School in St. Andrew showed that the school's perimeter fence was more than adequate. Up next was the Haile Selassie High School. The height of the walls made them look more like a hurdle than a perimeter enclosure. Pieces of board were leaned up against the wall to aid in students going over and residents from the community coming in. A side gate leading to the housing scheme adjacent to the school was ripped from the wall, leaving sections of the school open to all and sundry. To say that the perimeter enclosure at Haile Selassie High is inadequate would be an understatement. Inspections carried out by the National Education Inspectorate NEI between April 2010 and March 2013 found the Gregor Park Primary School wanting in the balance, but Live at 7 found that the school has greatly improved its security systems. We also visited the Nagahead Primary School in Portmore St. Catherine. The school's perimeter fence has more holes in it than a strainer. Students and predators could go through the fence, over the fence, and under it. It was then on to Port Henderson Primary, also in Portmore. The wall at the vanguard of the school's premises was very low, and there were holes in the perimeter fence to the rear of the property. The next stop on our Safe Schools audit was the Bridgeport High School. It wasn't difficult to gain access to the school's property using this end, but the area housing the classes seemed relatively secure. The other section of Bridgeport's perimeter fence seemed more like a redoubt. It was well fortified. Our final stop was here. Behind me is the Ministry of Education's National Hero Circle headquarters. We've checked, and like the schools under its purview, the ministry also has breaches in its perimeter enclosure. These security shortcomings at our nation's schools are not new, and as was the case at McGrath High School, they have led to some of our most vulnerable being hurt. A Sunday Gleaner article published in October 2010 gave a failing grade to a number of schools in the area of safety and security. The article said, quote, "A child leaning on a cylinder full of gas during break time was complaining about the ominous whiff of gas he smelled. His friends were playing in the vicinity of the gas tank. The pipes leading from it were not properly secured and could be easily accessed by the students. This was one of the potentially explosive and dangerous scenes observed by inspectors from the National Education Inspectorate, NEI, during the recently concluded first round of school inspections that started in April," end quote. At that time, 30 schools were placed under the microscope of the NEI investigators, who found the safety and security measures at a number of the institutions to be unsatisfactory. That school inspection report contained an ominous warning to the government that several of its public schools were rigged with potentially explosive security concerns that put scores of students in jeopardy. The question is, has the government been listening, or does it even have the cash to care?